What about the person who just graduated college and they have all this student loan debt, maybe some credit card debt? Do I take a risk and not pay and start my business? Maybe that online I'll be able to pay it off quicker than if I would have just went to work every day and just paid the minimum balance until it was paid off. Like, how do you approach that?
Yeah, that sounds like that's a double-edged sword, because if you do pay, that keeps you from putting money towards your business, and if you don't pay, then if you go out and try to get money, that's going to come back and haunt you because the creditors are then going to report you for late payment or no payment. What I would certainly suggest for a recent college grad is to certainly have a plan before you graduate, and know that if it's a business that you want to start, have that momentum going before you graduate. So whether it's a business plan, the concept, I think for recent college grads, it's also probably important to have a partner in the process. So that way, if you have one or more partners in the process, you guys can combine what loose ends you have as far as finances goes to maybe get the business started together that way. Because I know it's tough for college grads. At the end of the day, my advice will always be: if you have those debts and you've signed up for them, you've got to pay those. You've got to go ahead and pay. If it's the minimum, you've got to pay those off. My wholehearted suggestion would be to always eliminate your debt first before you go in business, because generally speaking, when you start a business, you have to put a lot of capital up, and you're going to turn around and go right back in debt before you start making money. So there's a couple of different ways to look at it. But my suggestion is, if you've got those outstanding debts, at least pay for those. But being a young person, you may look for other means, whether it's an additional partner, a family member who will just give you the money to get started, or it's just basically waiting it out, paying your debt, and timing is everything when it comes to starting a business as well.
So what about those who didn't realize they wanted to start a business until they started working in corporate America and decided, okay, this is not for me. And then maybe less than a year later, out of college, then they're saying, okay, I want to start my own business, but they didn't have the chance, or they didn't think about it until after they graduated college. I mean, is it sort of the same thing? You still have to pay your debt, of course, but I mean, it seems nearly impossible. What about that situation?
Sure, yeah, that's a tough situation, and I certainly know where you're coming from when you ask that question. Um, it's 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 possible, but not probable, if you're going to go out there and do it yourself, uh, to get a student loan. I'm not sorry, student loan, but a business loan. You'll have to maybe get a co-signer. You maybe have to put a lot of money down on a loan for a bank to give you the loan, but more likely it'll have to be a gift from somebody who's just a family member or a friend or a family member that says, "Hey, we believe in you. Here's some money. Just pay us back when you can." I heard that about Jerry Jones a long time ago. That his future, or his wife now, father, gave him a lump sum of money to get his oil business started, and look where he's at now as the owner of the Cowboys.
Mm.
I would say, to me, at the end of the day, you have to make sure that you pay your college debt, but don't 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 deter the fact of corporate America and what they have to offer. Working for corporate America and everything that a solid business provides to you as an employee of a business, it's also a great learning tool as well. So you're learning the business while they're paying you. You're also getting something out of it as well. You're seeing how a business is run. You're seeing where they are cut back on certain costs. You see where they have importance on certain things versus other things. You see how they treat their customers. You see how they treat their vendors. It's also, it may be a good thing to work for the corporation or the corporate America for a little while, so you can get a taste of how business runs yourself while being paid for it. So then when you're out on your own, you have that experience to be able to apply to your own company as well.
Hmm. This is good information. So, that leads to the next question for young employed individuals, entrepreneurs. We think we're going to live forever, but with time, we all grow old. So, what advice you have for entrepreneurs who are like in their 20s or 30s, but they need to invest in their retirement and personal and business insurances like disability insurance or just like investing in their future life when they may or may not be able to work and for the unexpected situations?
Oh yeah, absolutely. That has to be an absolute must whenever you work for corporate America or you work in your own business. Starting your retirement and starting early. You know, as young people, even when I got started, I didn't really see the importance of doing it. I put the very minimal in my account when I got started because I just figured, you know, it was the thing to do. I worked for a company who was the biggest 401k provider out there, so I said, well, I might as well put it in there and see what happens. And I didn't realize the benefits of doing that until years later, years down the line, when that account kept growing, I kept adding to it. The company was matching money, and I had a nice little piece of change in the account whenever I reflected on all the years of being disciplined and putting money away. But regardless if you're in a small business or not, there's so many different ways you can save for retirement and for that rainy day. I mean, you have anything from your own small 401k plan if a small business owner you can use to a self-employed 401k, KEO, SARSEPs, SEPs, a lot of different options out there depending on doing your business that you should make that an automatic point to do right as you're starting a business. It has to be an absolute must. The market's going to go up and down, so don't be deterred by that. It will go up, it will go down. But generally, over time, we have seen the market to go up more than it has go down. So you will, hopefully, choosing the right investments, you'll see your money grow a little bit. But just be disciplined, trust the process, and always make sure that you never know what's going to happen. You can't control the future, but having a plan of action for retirement, you got to make sure that's